It's the Harriers Hotline with myself, Wes, and I'm joined today by what should I call you? The coat of the Black Country. It's Shane, the non-league writer. Hello, Shane.
How we doing, Wes? The coat now that is going back a few years, isn't it?
Oh, I know, but legends never die. Legends never die, buddy. Right, Shane. Okay, so if you don't know myself, I run a Facebook group called Harriers Hotline. If you're just watching us on YouTube for the first time, that's excellent. Thank you so much. It's for fans, and I live in Southwest Wales. But Shane lives like 30 seconds from the ground or something. You live closer than I do anyway, so you get to go to all the games, which is great. I used to, but not so much anymore. But there you go. So yeah, Shane is my eyes and ears on everything going on Harriers wise. Shane, let's start off right now. 2 draws and 4 losses is not promotion material. Your thoughts, please.
State of the obvious, isn't it, really? Not promotion material. But when you look at the fixture list, March was going to be make or break, wasn't it? It was the toughest month that we were going to have. And, okay, yeah. Results have not been good. Was it like, 2 from 18, something like that in terms of points? That's not good in anybody's book. But this may not be a popular view. And for first-time viewers, or those that may not remember the final word in its original iteration a few years ago, I don't mind a slightly left field view now and then.
Just say it, Shane. Say it.
Here's the first one of the new campaign. How much is? Yes, the form is bad, but how much is down to increased expectations?
Well, do you know what? I don't know, but if that's the case, I want to go another unpopular opinion here. Would you rather us have not gone through to the 4th round of the FA Cup and be right in the title chase right now than have what we have? There's no coincidence that has happened and this has happened. I don't think, in my opinion.
There's a common school of thought with the FA Trophy, isn't there? Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, this will swing back. I'm not digressing that much. There's always a school of thought that if you're going to get promoted out of the National League, you need to not do well in the FA Trophy.
Yeah.
Arguably, the one side to really prove that was York. The season they went down into the National League North, they won the FA Trophy. So, but digressions aside, the league's always a priority. Cup runs are a bonus. And to paraphrase what Amarvi Sterling said on Twitter, which I sent to you earlier, I think it was, Wes, did we all not enjoy that in February? Were any of us really sitting there in January, February saying, you know what, these Micah Richards, Limon in the fan zone, and West Ham United coming to town, and David Moyes and Declan Rice, you know what? Nah. Let's go spread him all away instead, with all due respect to spread him all town, of course. Now,
Russ Penn even said after the Swansea game when he gave that amazing speech.
Swansea?
No, Swansea. Reading.
There we go.
That's closer, isn't it? That's closer to home. Well,
it's close to home.
Closer for
there
me.
We go.
He said after we beat Reading, he said, "Listen, guys, get excited, but at the end of the day, what we want to achieve is to go up. This is great, but we want to achieve promotion, and I don't know. It's a tough one. I don't think the players got carried away with it too much. The fans did, obviously, because we're massive everywhere we go. Well, we were, but it's a tough one. We didn't. Do you know what? It would have been amazing if we'd have gone through the 5th round. I wouldn't have minded them. But the way it ended, and with West Ham not giving us the money they got as well from the game, just left a bit of taste, man, I think, for me. Not sure about you.
Just to close the FA Cup one, because that's 7 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
West Ham were under no obligation to do anything for us with the money. Oh, is it even a time-honoured tradition? Some teams do it, some teams don't. Yeah. It's like banking on a cup money. If you're going to bank on a big team give you the money, you're saft. You're stupid. But we'll leave the FA Cup chat to the past. We'll bring it back to the present day, the present run of form. Yes, it's poor. Yes, it's injuries. Yes, it's a relatively small squad. And the difference between Gateshead, Brackley and ourselves, apart from what I expect to be two bigger budgets, and the fact that Gateshead's front four have about 80 goals between them, and Brackley tighter than a Yorkshireman with his wallet.
Mm.
We've all got similar sized squads, but we're just getting hit at the wrong time. And as Russ said after the game yesterday, a lot of them are impact injuries or muscle injuries, which you can't really legislate for, can you? I mean,
No.
The obvious one is obviously Matty Preston. Nobody saw that coming. And undeniably, since we lost Matt Preston, we have looked a little bit more shaky. But I think it'd be unfair to say that they'll have too much of an effect mentally, because serious injuries are part and parcel of the game. And if it impacted that bad mentally, we want to come out the next game and beat, I think it was Boston.
I think losing Matt Preston, it may not have, hit home game after, but I think the games after, I think he's been so epic for us. He's been absolutely. You've seen him play loads, Shane. You know how good.
Oh yeah. How much can you really pin on that? As not to say that the guys are going to be making excuses. Obviously not. They know there's going to be 16, 18 guys in that dressing room who aren't happy with how it's going, plus the management, plus the management's backroom staff. They know. On the way back from Gateshead, everybody knows who's on social media anyway, that Russ came onto the coaches after and apologised and said, look, this was crap, stick with us. We're going through a little bit, but we'll get out the end of it. So it's just a bad time. Everybody has them. I mean, the only two teams who ain't really had a bad spell are the top two, who are the top best two teams in this league by a country mile. I mean, Curzon, arguably, won now. They lost last night 4-0. They lost the bottom of the league, Farsley Celtic 2-1 last weekend. They sacked the manager for talking to somebody else months ago. Surely we played last night. I was bringing up their fixtures now on my little thing.
Yeah.
Since February, start of February, draw, loss, won, loss, then a draw last night. So they're going through a little bit of thing, and they're up there with us. Every team, unless you're Liverpool, Man City, Bayern Munich, will have peaks, will have troughs. Our peak just so happened to be a massive one in every sense of the word. But now our noses are in the trough a little bit.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. Would we rather have our blip now, where we still sit with a 10-point cushion in the playoffs with 30 points to play, which, let's face it, if that swing, it'd be a Keegan Entertainers-esque bot job.
Yeah.
Would we rather have it now? Okay, yeah, we'll lose a home tie or advance to a semi-final, but would we rather take the blip now and then we get everybody back, say, at the end of April, play Leamington, play Darlington, even rest a few folks, and then we're bang at it for the playoffs? Would we rather have our up curve begin now and plateau, or would we rather just try and improve bit by bit, but then time our run? We just after Cheltenham. Do we want to be streaking 3 or 4 lengths clear at the end of the first circuit, or do we want to be prominent and making our move as we go into the final furlong?
I think there's 30 points up for grabs for us. 30 points up for grabs. If we can win, we should. But this is the thing. I know each game is tough, and people say that, but let's be realistic here. You'd expect us to beat whoever we've got. We'd expect us to beat Kirsten at the weekend. We'd expect.
Now, let me stop you there.
Uh-oh.
Should we expect to beat Curzon Ashton?
Absolutely, we should.
What? Why? Why should we be expected? Why should we say, yeah, Curzon Ashton, we should beat them?
because we are massive. Do you know what? That's a really great question. Thanks, Shane. I've got no answer to that right now. But I just think with the way we've played for so long, and then for it to blip, and then we just got to get back in. We just need a scrappy 1-0. It comes off Ash Hemming's arse or whatever, goes in the 97th minute. We just need that, get us back on track, and then boom, we're done and we're gone. Bye-bye. That's what we need. That's what we need to happen.
To be fair, we thought we had that last night. I'm sure we'll speak about the Chorley game in more detail. It was looking like we were going to ride our luck and get that jamming 1-0.
Yeah.
Obviously. But to that point about Curzon, they're in the playoff scrap. So if anybody's going to say, oh, yeah, we should beat a team like Curzon Ashton, we'll say, well, a team who are only a couple of places below us who are in the fight for the promotion playoffs themselves.
Okay.
Just because it may be an unfashionable name, a smaller in terms of size and fan base and everything, but they are up here in this top 10 on merit after 31 National League North games. So teams like that's, I don't think that really washes at this stage of the season. You can't even say that about teams at the bottom end. Farsley Celtic, teams like Farsley Celtic. Well, in the last 4 weeks, Farsley have beaten ourselves. They've beaten Curzon. You know, they've tried to pull themselves out of danger. So there's no teams like anybody. There isn't anyway, but especially at this stage of the season, everybody can and is beating each other.
They are, but that's the way the league's been for a long time. And I want to say, the reason I'm saying we should beat them is because if we want to get promoted, we have to win every single home game without fail. We have to do that. That's what we have to do. You know, you can't get a better chance if you're going to be at home. You've got to win those home games. Like last night, we should have won that home game. We didn't, but we didn't lose, you know. And the teams, we've got injuries. We've got lots of injuries. I mean, are we going to make any signings before the weekend, do you think?
Oh, I'm glad you brought up transfers there, Wes. Monsieur Couillard, a name known to many observers, formerly of Hereford.
Yeah.
I've seen a few things say that we were in for him and we got blown out the water by York. Fylde and James Rowe have pulled a standard James Rowe procedure, pulled out the checkbook like he did at Gloucester, like he did at Chesterfield, and he's doing it now. They brought in Kyle Morrison from Leamington, Will Hatfield from Darlington. They put a bid in, a 5-figure bid in for Matt McClure at Gloucester. The reason I say Fylde and York, and I'm using them to compare to us, is it's easy to look and say, oh, well, it's like the whole thing at school. Oh, well, Johnny and David had McDonald's for tea. Why can't I? Well, Johnny and Dave's mummy and daddy have a little bit more money than we do, son. So we'll have sausage and chips out the freezer.
Nice.
This is the thing. Fylde have the money, so they could go and buy Will Hatfield, Kyle Morrison, potentially Matt McClure, ready-made National League North players. York could be able to throw a little bit of Couillard from Hereford. Last month's Player of the Month, and I think it was back-to-back Hereford Man of the Match in February. Now, all the conversation around West Ham was that our budget is round about 8th place in the league. So, okay, we've had a cup run, but not everything's about on the pitch.
Yeah.
But even if it was, when you've got people who are bankrolling certain other teams in this division, how can we realistically go up against them?
I don't know. It's ruined football for many a year, isn't it?
To add to that, who else in this league have made signings in the last week or two?
No idea. No idea.
AFC Telford have converted Jordan Piggott's loan spell into a permanent one because they've got too many loan players at the moment to leave one out. So now by bringing Piggott in, they can then play all 5 loanees that they've got.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's Fylde and York who are doing the business, who are arguably the 2 biggest budgets in the league. So would anybody come in? We'd hope so. But it's all very well and good to say, oh, why isn't Russell Penn buying a player? Number one, the finances have got to be right on the deal for the club.
Yeah.
We've been through this recently. Do we need another Colin Gordon masterstroker spending £75,000 on a player in the league who then does nothing?
Isn't fit to start with. So there you go.
You know, things like this. Look, they'll be out there. They'll be looking for folks. But if the deal's not right financially for the football club, first and foremost, it's not going to be entertained. The last couple of years, we were in the abyss because of financial mismanagement.
Yeah.
Now we're doing okay again. What we perceive to be our rightful positions in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Should we then risk going back to the abyss? We did it under Steve Burr. We chucked everything at it to get into the league. It failed. We had a couple of years in the abyss, and then we went down. We did it under John Eustace. We had a couple of good years. We threw money at it. We failed. We stared at the abyss, and then we tumbled down it.
Yeah.
We had a decent half year last year before COVID hit. We're having a decent year here now. Do we spend money again? Well, what's the thing that happens after that if we don't go up? We stare into the abyss. Then what happens? What, do we tumble down to the Southern Central this time? Or do we acknowledge where we're at? And if this team is good enough to be in the top 3 for 3/4 of a season, surely you should back them to regain their confidence.
Absolutely.
The odd tweak here or there, absolutely. I'm not saying we should not sign anybody. We should not look to sign anybody. Clearly, we have needs through injury.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's as terminal as everybody's making it. The Titanic is not going down.
No, and
it's a little bit of a choppy wave.
We're still in the playoffs, man. We're still in the playoffs.
Exactly.
And, only time will tell. Maybe we'll go on a bit of a streak again, and then, we'll finish 4th or whatever. And maybe we'll be, do you know what? I'm only coming to the playoff final. If we get the playoffs, I'm only coming to the playoff final because I've had my heart broken by this team too many times. I don't want to drive for 3 hours, stay overnight, and then watch something bad happen and then come back. I don't want to do that. I literally can't do that. And the missus would kill me. She'd kill me. She'd be like, what are you doing that for? I'd be like, I don't know. So I think, but Russ Penn has also said that they'll only sign players that will fit in with the ethic of the team, the workmanship of the team, the way they work and stuff. He'll only do that. He's not going to sign someone, a bit of a showboater. He's not going to do that. So you've got to find those people and stuff.
Well, exactly. We've got a particular profile.
Yeah.
Needs to know the level, come in and fit every interview that's been done. You've done a couple yourself, Wes, with Luke and with Ashley. What's the one thing that's consistent throughout it all? It's the group.
Yeah.
You go onto Instagram. You see Hemo, mugging off AMS because he's popped round for a coffee and conked out on the sofa, just like you do to your mate. You piss about and you banter them, and that's what this group have got. The camaraderie is there. If you disturb that just for the sake of looking like you're doing something, you could do more harm than good sometimes. We tried the whole line down an experiment. That's not worked. We've then decided that we'd rather move our right back to centre back and our centre mid to right back instead of playing a centre back. Now, what does that say? He's not ready.
Yeah.
Now, it's okay because he's a lone player and we can just shovel him to the side and forget about him if we have to. Or he may be unfit. He's probably unfit. Or maybe being really unfair here. But if we sign somebody permanently and they are not a good fit, you can't just shovel them to the side like a leopard, because everyone's then we go, oh well, we've just brought him in, we're paying him. Well, why he's not playing? Why have we signed him? Then all of a sudden you're throwing all that fuel onto the fire just because you wanted the optic of, oh yeah, we're doing something. Sometimes it is like better the devil you know, isn't it?
Absolutely. Shane, we're going to change it up now, mate, because Brackley have come to town. Look at this. Hello, Bobby. No.
Hello. How are we?
You're well, thank you. Bobby, this is Shane.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi, Bobby. Nice to meet you.
Now, Bobby, do you want to tell Shane how we know each other?
Well, known each other for a very long time, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Well, he's my godfather. Wes is.
Ah, right.
So
Family
that's how
affair.
I know him. Exactly.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was never going to get him away from Chelsea because your dad is a massive Chelsea fan, isn't he, Bobby?
Mm.
And I don't think he wants to leave Chelsea either. But I thought I could probably get him in for Harriers at some point. But then no, he's like, I'm Brackley. I'm on Brackley. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so there you go. So Bobby, thank you. Oh yeah, by the way, Bobby, hang on a minute. Hang on. Yeah, keep talking. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, sorry, Bobby. I found. I don't know if you wanted to just to prove it is true. There you go, Shane. So this is me and Bobby.
Oh, lovely. Cracking photo that.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
But look, I saw that photo and I was like, I wonder what Bob was doing. So Godson Bobby at his first ice hockey game for his birthday, he said, "This is typical you, Bobby, by the way. We can win this if we keep going, literally punch them in the face." There you go. How old were you there, Bobby?
I don't know how old I was. How long ago is that? 2014?
14, yeah.
That's ages ago, that.
I know. When were you born? Let's work out that way. You're born 2004
yeah.
or 5?
So 10? So 2004. So
there you go.
Make us feel old here, Wes. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Right. So Bobby, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Ash Hemmings was supposed to be here tonight. Got to say, he gave his apologies because his son's not well. Ash Hemmings, you know him, don't you, Bobby?
I do know him.
So he played for Brackley. Was he any good with Brackley?
It was Amari Sterling James that played for Brackley. I don't think Ashley Hemmings did.
Oh, okay. But were they any good?
Who? Which one? Oh, what? When?
Well, either of them. When they played.
Well, Amari Sterling James, when he first joined St James Park, I thought he was a decent player. You could see that he was quality. We had him on loan from Mansfield for a bit, and yeah, he did play very well. But yeah, he's at you guys now, so not bad.
He's got a free kick on him, that boy, hasn't he?
He does.
Oh yes.
Seen those highlights.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably a bit, wondering.
Jeremy couldn't get one of them in Saturday though, but
yeah, I know. Or at the West Ham game. Anyway, we won't talk about West Ham. It's gone. It's totally gone. Bobby, can you explain why Brackley are so good this season, please?
Why are Brackley so good this season? It's a very good question. It's probably our defence, I've got to say. Kidderminster on Saturday was our 21st clean sheet of the season. And yesterday was the 22nd against Alfreton. We've conceded just 18 goals, which in the grand scheme of things, at the point we are in the season, is just crazy. I mean, if we're being honest. Louis Lomas has been incredible since he's joined from Norwich in the summer. Centre back, always looking to progress with the ball. Obviously, Gazdean, our captain, everyone knows what he's like. Tough tackling defender. And then we've had Glenn Walker drop back on the other side, and recently Max Deitch as well, son of Sean, on loan from Northampton. Yeah. So the defence has been incredible, and we always seem to scrape games, and we've just been kept getting results. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but basically. Bobby, who is it in defence who's stopping the goals? Who's the best player?
Who's the best player in our defence?
Yes. Who uses his hands? Who is it?
Yeah, I mean, Danny Lewis. Danny Lewis is incredible. He is incredible. I've said it for years. He is the best keeper in non-league. For years.
He was the best keeper in Shane. When he went, sorry, he was ours, by the way. He left because he
I know.
Okay, fine.
Came through at the end of the Football League days, I believe, popped off to Solihull Moors, came back around 07, 08, I think. But obviously, number one during those great Steve Burr years until a certain former owner, I think, made a decision that he was too old. Yeah, how was that looking? 37, and including cups, he's played 38 games, conceded 26, and has faced 2 penalties and saved one of them. So yeah, definitely too old.
So Bobby, I was going to say, can Brackley finally do it?
Well, I mean, it's long overdue. It's long overdue. I think we can all agree it's long overdue. We've been in the playoffs for 5 seasons in a row now since Kevin Wilkins taken over. Looking for a 6th this season. Obviously, if we don't win the league, that is. But Gateshead, mean, Gateshead are just a different breed, ain't they? They're incredible. They score so many, but they can concede a goal. So 2nd of April, we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be a very tight game.
Is that at
a
home?
very tight game.
That's at
That
home.
is at home.
Yeah.
That is at home. But I mean, when we went up there, we lost 3-0. So who knows?
Are you going to that one? Or are you working?
I'll probably be working, and it's Gateshead, so that's a lot of break.
Yeah, not great. I did it a few weeks ago, and yeah, not great at all. But Bob, you mentioned about your playoff record. It's almost like a non-league Arsenal, if you like. It's always there and just never got over the line. I mean, pre-season losing Shane Byrne raised a few eyebrows, didn't it? So, I mean, did you see the season as good as this coming, or is it a surprise even to you guys?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I mean, at the start of the season, we're talking with fans and whatnot. We genuinely thought we were going to be mid-table. Like the squad going into this season was probably one of the weakest we've had for a long time. Obviously, we've had our set kind of core since Kevin Wilkins been there. Your Gaz Deans, Jimmy Armsons, Glenn Walkers and whatnot. But we normally build around that. We normally get pretty young players in. So likes of Connor Hall, Ethan Coleman have been with us past few years. They've gone on to bigger, better things, both in the EFL. We like to do that sort of thing. But yeah, this season it wasn't great. But over the course of the season, we've made some signings, pretty positive ones. Fabio Lopez from Oxford United, Yanai Gordon recently from Hereford, Max Deitch obviously on loan, Jordan Richards. They've all been quality. So, it's been decent. It's been very decent.
Bobby, let's talk about your attendances at Brackley, because there's a lot. To be honest with you, a lot of people like Brackley, but when it comes to attendances, a lot of people are really pissed off about Brackley because you don't get that many, do you? What's the average attendance at Brackley? 800 maybe?
I'd probably say 700 because midweek is we do struggle. I mean, Brackley's in probably one of the worst parts of the country if we want attendances, if we're being honest. Like, we're slap bang in the middle. We've got Northampton around us, Oxford. And then if you're out my way, it's like MK Dons and whatnot as well. So it's a tough one. It's definitely. But considering the size of the town and everything, I think it's definitely a club that's progressing. I think we can all see that. Kidderminster on Saturday was our record attendance for a regular season league game. So on to better things, I think.
I think that I hear exactly what you're saying, because that's been more or less the same problem at Kidderminster Harriers since I started going, because you've got the likes of your West Broms, your Wolverhampton Wanderers, your who else have we got, Shane, who's sticking around?
Villa, Warsaw, Blues.
Yeah, there's loads of them, man. If they want to go, they go. How many did you take to the FA Trophy final, Bobby?
I think it was 7,000 or 8,000. So I mean, there's people there that I don't know, they're attracted to it. I think it's clear, and I think it's the same with every team. I think when you get to an occasion like that, you do bring almost the whole town with you. So there's people there that will support us. It's just whether they come on a Saturday. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's the main issue. And the only thing that will get them through the gate will be the football that the team plays. And if they, it's always the way, isn't it, Shane?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's bringing it back to the season that you're having, really. I mean, it's always said, in it, that goals win games, defences win titles. And I've just been looking through my stats here, and out of your 32 league games, 11 have been 1-0. 15 of the 32 is by a 1-goal margin. I mean, is this what's gonna? Can you keep Sedgwin, Scott, Macaulay, Langstaff, Adam Campbell, and Paul Blackett-White, and Greg Ollie? You've done it for 32 games. Can you do it for another 10? Do you think?
Well, I hope so, and I do think so. We're that sort of team that we kind of almost, how do I say it? Like build from the back, because we don't concede goals.
Yeah.
We will eventually score them. That's how we play football. It's usually cagey games that we're involved in, and then we'll go down the other end and get a goal. That's how we play.
It's almost very old school, isn't it? It's the old George Graham boring Arsenal, to go back to that analogy.
It is. I know. We're basically Arsenal, aren't we?
Kind of, maybe a little bit, I suppose. So, Bobby, talk me through your running. What apart from the Gateshead game, what else could be the sticky points?
Yeah, there is some tough games in there. We've still got York City at home to play. Obviously, they've been in tremendous form recently. We've still got big away games. Spennymoor on Saturday. Obviously, it's a tough place to go. Firsthand.
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Yeah. Obviously, we've got Leamington away as well. Hereford away, and last day of the season we've got Chester at home. They're always a banana skin. So we'll just got to wait and see, really.
You never really know which Chester's going to turn up, do you?
Exactly.
I don't think.
Very, very weird side this season, Chester.
Very.
So, Bobby, on a personal note, what do you prefer more? Because you go to Chelsea with your dad. Do you prefer going to Chelsea, or do you prefer what you have at Brackley? And when I say what you have at Brackley, what is it you do at Brackley as well? Tell us, Bobby.
I definitely prefer Brackley. Definitely.
I'm going to tell your dad.
Yeah, I think he knows at this point.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm pretty sure he knows.
He could go to games at Brackley.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I'll say.
Exactly. That is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
It's. I much prefer Brackley. I think for what it is, it's an incredible standard of football. The National League North is no joke. I think with the teams that we've got in here, obviously yourselves, us, Gateshead, Fylde, Chorley, the list goes on. The standard of football is incredible. The price is so much cheaper. The community feel around everywhere. It's truly like a family. It's just so much better. And then obviously off the pitch, there's a lot of community stuff that Brackley do. I'm involved, part of the media team, and I do some graphics for them. So like the centre page in a programme, I design them. It's going very well this season.
What's the food like though? Is it still good, the food?
Oh yeah, of course.
Show me that again, Shane. What was that?
Just for the purposes, and the aforementioned Janai Gordon as well, who, to be honest, I thought was a cracking pickup from Hereford when you picked it up a few weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
Is that yours, Bobby? Did you do that?
Yep, that is mine.
Thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Thank you. And Bobby, do you get paid for any of that?
I don't know. It's voluntary. Of course, it's voluntary.
It's love. It's out of love.
Exactly. Why would you even ask that? Why would you even ask that?
What would you do that with? So, Bobby, let's talk about. So we know how good Brackley are. How old are you now?
I'm 17.
You're 17 now. Okay. Next year you get to kiss a girl, which can be amazing, right? But yeah, away. I know you've been to a few away games. Tell us about your aways and what you thought of where you went and stuff.
I've been to, I think it's 6 this season. First one was up at York, their new ground. I wanted to do their new ground.
What's it like? Is it good? Is it nice?
It's modern. It's very modern. They get a good atmosphere. They get a good atmosphere there, to be fair, as well. They've got their little core group of singers opposite you in the away end. But no, we had a really good result up there. Conceded in the first half, but then we got 2 late goals, 88th minute and 90th minute to win 2-1. Just how we like them. How we like them.
Oh yes.
Where else have I been? Another big one. I went to Fylde. That was good. That was 3-3 that day. Very good game. Very good game.
Was that an extra time equaliser?
That was, yeah. It was a 90+4. I want to say equaliser. Trey Mitford.
That's like winning. Day. That's just like winning.
Exactly.
It is.
It really is.
That's like winning, man.
Exactly. And against Fylde as well. It was a massive result because at the time they were flying. We really did need that result. Obviously, been up to your place this season as well, Kidderminster. 1-2-0 as we do normally.
It's easy.
At Agbra, we do love it up at Agbra. To be fair, we do. What else have I done? Bradford, Farsley. No, it's been very good this season. We've had decent support everywhere. People have really got behind the team this season more than any other. So yeah, it's been really good, and hopefully get a few more results.
Who's been your standout player of the season for Brackley?
My player of the season has to go to Shetmer and Bedsy. He has been absolutely outstanding. He didn't play on Saturday. He's been suffering with an illness, not COVID, thankfully, but he's been incredible and has really filled Shane's boots like proper. It was obviously a massive loss losing Shane, especially to Boston, but he hasn't really hit it off there probably as much as he'd like. But no, Shetmer and Bedsy, incredible footballer. Should be well up the ladder. Tough tackler, loves a challenge, and can ping a ball as well. So that's what we love.
You've got a couple of players like that, and who should really be playing the trade. I mean, the one everybody knows, Lee Enlove. How the hell do you keep hold of him every summer?
I know it's almost impossible. It is almost impossible, but I think it's for him, Matt Lowe as well. I think Matt Lowe is probably going to get his move soon enough.
Right among the goals in this season, 12 and 37 I've got.
And he's a great assister as well. His goal contributions have been stupid this season. I mean, them two have been incredible. Shetmer and Bedsy as well. I mean, literally, I can name the whole team and tell you something good about them. It's really been a whole unit effort this season, and it's been really. I'm proud that I'm watching the team do it because it's been incredible.
Do you? I know we feel like this at Harriers. Certainly myself. I don't know if Shane's the same, but I feel like if we don't go up, then we're going to lose our best players. I always get that dreadful sense at the end of the season. Shane, are you like that or not?
It depends on the circumstances, really. I mean, the obvious one for us at the minute is Geraldo Bejrami. We'll talk more about him later. News from today. Well, I think for teams like Brackley who are part-time, Bobby will tell me if I'm wrong here, but there's almost a little bit more security just in the fact that they're there for a reason. It's local 9 times out of 10, or they'll move. Not if they're going to move. It's not always for footballing reasons. So that's probably one of the reasons why some part-time teams can keep hold of these bigger players. In the case of Brackley and Lee Enlove.
Definitely, I think a couple of our players like Lee and Matty, I think they definitely do have ambitions to go higher. I think that's undoubted. But we're talking players like Danny Lewis, Gaz Dean. I mean, a lot of them have got decent jobs. So going professional probably wouldn't probably suit them, as they want to keep their jobs. Obviously, I don't think they'd go into full-time football at their age now. So that's probably been a big factor. And I think each season we've been slowly progressing. We probably could have gone up a couple of times now, but I don't know. I think if we don't, I mean, it's a bold statement, but if we don't win the league, I don't think we go up.
I understand that.
It's a lot,
us and playoffs. I mean, we've been there so many times now. It's just painful at this point. You know what I mean? Like, and especially this year, the teams in it. I mean, it would be us, you, Fylde, and Southport. The seventh spot's wide open.
It's No, it brings back horrible memories for me. Playoffs are they're not good for anyone. You got made of stern stuff, and I'm not Bobby, to be honest. I'm sorry, mate. Apologies for that, but I'm not made of stern stuff when it comes to the playoffs. So you go. Shane, have you got any thoughts on where Brackley can go from here? Where do you think, as a non-Brackley fan, where do you think Brackley could go, Shay?
If they go up, Bobby's points on the playoffs, the value we know ourselves from experience with Harriers, that season with Mansfield, the couple of the Eustace seasons, it's not a giving. Brackley, I mean, on the pitch, undoubtedly, they've got what it takes. They've got the defence. They've just got the total package almost. You can put that Brackley team, same with Gateshead, same possibly with maybe Foiled as well, but definitely Gateshead and Brackley. You could swap them with most of the National League teams, and they won't disgrace themselves. I've had conversations with other people saying that in terms of betting, if Gateshead and or Brackley went up, I'd be tempted to back them to have a go at doing the double strike like Harrogate did a few years ago.
Mm.
They are set up to take the next step if they can get over the mental hurdle of the playoffs, if they have to. Obviously, that game in a couple of weeks against Gateshead, they win that, then it's game on.
I want to come, Bobby. I want to come and watch it. I'm not going to.
I know.
I've got no money, but that would be a laugh.
It is huge. It is huge.
It is a time like this where I wish we could get some coverage of the National League North, whether it's streaming or TV, because there's somebody just who, people like us are just really the cut and thrust of it. You look at certain games like Brackley Gateshead, it's like, you want to watch that. Or even down at the other end, the Telford Farsley game in a couple of weeks. So that relegation battle shaping up, there's storylines straight the league, and it is a shame sometimes that there's no real. The only way to experience it is by your Twitter report or being there, which is obviously impossible to always do, isn't it? Really.
Absolutely, guys. Let's talk about first place goes up. So Gateshead are in first. Then it's Brackley, then it's Fylde, then it's Harriers, then it's Chorley. Now that's your. Then the two below that, they play in like the third playoff. Is that right? Because this is where it used to be, right? So if you came seventh, you kind of got in, but you had to play 3 games. Is that still correct, Shane?
It's the quarterfinals will be 4th versus 7th, 5th versus 6th. I want to say they'll take place in midweek. Then I believe it's the winner of 4th versus 7th will play 2nd place at 2nd on the weekend. Obviously, 3rd will take on the winner of 5th and 6th. And then the week after that is the final. So it's all condensed into a 10-day period from what I remember. I actually looked at this a couple of weeks ago. And from what I remember, it's all condensed into about a 10-day period. But there's obviously huge advantages to finishing, in Brackley's case, potentially 2nd, because you're guaranteed 2 home games.
Yeah, but we had that and we didn't go. We didn't go up.
And this is the trap that the Saints have got to avoid, because if they go to the wire with Gateshead and then miss out on that final day, they've only got a few days to pick themselves up to go again in a winner takes it all game. They'll have a week against probably somebody like Chorley or York or Southport in a winner takes all.
Realistically, who can finish in 7th then? So you're looking, 7th is York on 48 points. Then you're going down Boston, Hereford, Darlington, Curzon, Spennymoor on 43, Kettering on 41, Leamington 40. Do you think making 8 points is too much for those guys? There are 10 games left or such.
I think with some of the games in hand knocking about as well. I'll just pull the table up. I think you're looking at the form that York are in. They're making a real big play, especially with signing Maziar Kuyar as well. They're really going for that last push to sneak in. Here we go. We've got it up now. So as you say, York 7th on goal difference to Boston, who have played a game more. Hereford 3 behind, but have played 2 games more. You'd probably say down to Kettering, just because in looking at they've played 31 games, 7 points off. So you'd probably say Darlington, Curzon, Spennymoor, and Kettering are your outsiders, and Hereford you're probably looking between York and Boston, but there's always a team who was a very, very late running. That's been York, but if Curzon can remedy this little bad streak they're on, they've got a game in hand on Southport, and they're only 6 points off them. So win that game in hand, they're straight back in it.
Yeah,
It's that again. It's looking at it. You've got race on for the top two, then it's race on for 6th and 7th, and then it's a race to the bottom. Everything else is with little gaps even between ourselves and Foiled, 5 points, albeit with a game in hand, so we can create a race there. There's plenty to play for, but yeah, I think we're looking at maybe down to Curzon. I'll still give Curzon an outside shout if they can.
not this weekend, you won't, pal.
Well, obviously not this. Obviously not this weekend.
Not happening this weekend. So, Bobby, tell me about the Brackley ground. How many seats have you got?
How many seats have we got?
Yeah,
That's a very good question. I know the capacity is 3,500.
yeah.
But I don't know how many of that is seated. We have expanded it a bit.
Yeah.
There's a few new stands in there than there was. I mean, I remember first going and the South Bank was just grass, and now there's just stands everywhere now. So yeah, the ground development's been really impressive recently, and I think it just does show our ambitions. But yeah, I know it's 3,500. I don't know how many seats there is though.
507 according to a well-known search engine I've just utilised.
Bobby, you need to get yourself a shame, man.
I know.
Brilliant.
I know.
Well, to your point there about the ground development, I went the last time we were permitted to pre-COVID during the war, and cracking burgers as well.
Yes, food is amazing.
Yeah, it's the criminal offence not to mention the food at Brackley, just like it used to with us. But it's one of the first things I noticed actually when we come in, that how much it had changed over the couple of years. Obviously, you had the clubhouse burning down, and I like what you've done there. It doesn't look out of place at all, which is a real tough ask, I think, with when you're trying to improve traditional grounds, bringing them into the modern era. Sometimes it just looks wrong, doesn't it? But
yeah,
it looked well smart, and again, just shows that you are equipped to take it up to step one if you can do it on the pitch.
Bobby, I was having a chat with your dad.
Yeah.
It was last week of the week. I mean, I chatted to him quite a lot anyway. 2 weeks ago, and we were talking. He was saying about one of the biggest sporting companies in the world is literally just down the road from you.
Yes.
And he was saying that you guys, you have no affiliation with Mercedes. Surely that's got to change. Surely.
I know it's quite a big opportunity having it as your neighbour. I think it's definitely something that could be utilised in the future. Whether it does or not, I don't know. But yeah, it's good because, I mean, well, maybe it's not, because I think Brackley Town are probably the second most viewed thing in Brackley now because of Mercedes. But
yeah,
is what it is. But yeah, no, it would be good to get them involved in some way. At the start of the season, when we announced our Puma deal for the shirts, there was a Lewis Hamilton and a Valtteri Bottas shirt made. Whether they got them or not, different story, but who knows?
I'm sure Lewis dried his car with it. I don't know. Maybe. He doesn't dry his car, does he? Let's be honest. He doesn't do that.
Probably not. Unless it's end of season or something, I don't think he goes to Brackley much.
Why would he want to? I don't. I don't think you can get Lewis Hamilton to come to watch Brackley. I don't think that's.
Yeah,
maybe.
He's pretty well. Maybe. I think he's quite big time for that, though, isn't he?
Just a little bit. He's done a couple of things, man. Just 7 little things, and then that was fine.
Just little things.
That was fine. And Shane, we have to wrap this up in a minute, mate, because we've had nearly an hour now. This has been our the final word, and we've got Bobby on. Bobby, is there anything you want to say? And don't swear. Don't swear.
Anything I want to say? Just anything
you want to mention that you haven't mentioned? You've got this brilliant platform to mention it.
Well, thank you, Kidderminster Harriers, for the 6 points this season.
I knew he'd do
No,
that.
cut it off now. Cut it off
Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Get rid of him.
Gateshead will win the league.
Yeah, with the Gateshead, just smash the league.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
you're going to lose to Southport. It's perfect. Yeah.
No, but no, genuinely, good work here. And yeah, no, just loving it, enjoying football, and hopefully, by the end of the season, get me back on. We might have won the league. Who knows?
I'm going to get your dad on. Talk about the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh no, not the playoffs.
Absolutely, mate. It's going to happen.
Hopefully we're not there.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. Well, you want to still be in the mix, You could. Can they still be caught, Shane? Can Brackley still be caught by eighth position? Bet they probably can.
If they can, they won't be able to be caught very, very soon. I think they are as good as they're. Again, just waiting for the table to load back up. So Brackley, 32 played, 73 points obtained, giving them a lead of 25 points over 8th place Boston with 30 to play for. So the playoffs could be sewn up in 2 games' time.
But I'm just looking at your next 4 fixtures, Bobby. Does this not worry you? Spennymoor away, Gateshead at home, Curzon away, York at home. Do they not worry you a little bit? Those are 4 pretty hard games, man.
I think Saturday does. Saturday does worry me a bit because Spennymoor's never an easy place to go to. We all know what Glenn Taylor can do, especially with they've got John O'Malley there now. So we always, I don't know, we always struggle against the John O'Malley team, but hopefully we'll nick one up there. And then obviously Gateshead's make or break, really. I think if we lose, that's them. I think they've got the title. I think if we draw as well, we're still in it, because obviously Curzon Ashton's the game in hand on the Tuesday night. So that's another big. Basically, every game's a big one.
It's what the actress says to the bishop. Right, okay. So, Bobby, before I go, sorry, mate. I've been asked to ask you, what's Brackley famous for again? Can you tell me?
Well, I'll give you the backstory of this.
No, I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
I saw on telly.
So basically, when we got to the second round against Tranmere, we were on telly. We were on telly. And before the game, Brackley got asked if they wanted to do a little segment on them. Got asked a few questions by a reporter. One of the questions was like, what was it? Yeah, what Brackley's famous for. There was also, where is Brackley, which was a bit vague, I thought. But anyway, so I've gone and said, Brackley Town. Well, we're in the town of Brackley. Just head in hands moment, really.
What's it famous for, though?
What is it famous for? It's a good question. Probably Mercedes.
Really, Shane?
Yeah.
Well, I saw this on Twitter. To be fair, Mercedes was my first team, but now it's wool and lamb. Apparently, it's all wolf in sheep's clothing and all of that.
Well, do you know what it could be famous for, Bobby? It could be famous for winning the Conference North season 21-22, mate. There you go.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for you, buddy. There you go. We'll catch you, no probs. Hopefully, we've got you in the playoffs. If we do, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully not.
There you go. We've got to beat you at some point, buddy. We've got to beat you at some point. There you
Don't
go.
know if that'll happen.
Hey, we did that. Just nobody saw it because of the stream last season.
Yeah, there you go. Right, listen, Bobby, thank you so much for
no problem at all.
joining us on the final word. Brilliant stuff. Right, speak to you soon, mate. Thank you.
See you later. Thank you.
Shane,
cheers, Bobby.
Cheers, Bobby. Shane, listen, mate. Well done, man. That was good fun. Bobby was good, wasn't he? He's good.
Yeah, Bobby was excellent. So just to tie up a couple of loose ends, just in case we get questions, I'll refer to something about Geraldo Bijrami earlier.
Yeah.
If you've been on Twitter today, which is what, Wednesday night. So obviously by the time you guys listen to this, hopefully it's all blown over ahead of tomorrow being Thursday's deadline.
Yeah.
Rumours abounded that Notts County have come in with 3 different bids for Bedrami, but the latest was that they have all been rejected.
Nice. Isn't it great to be in a position where you can reject?
Yeah, well, obviously we've still got plenty to play for. So the fact that we can persuade him, or just keep him here against his will, who knows?
Tell him, you're going nowhere, pal.
We think we're Kidderminster Harriers. We might be Kidderminster Harriers for all we know.
Yeah.
But either way, as of now, unless something's happened while we've recorded this, they've been rejected. He's hopefully not going anywhere.
No.
Which just shows that might just be as important as bringing somebody in, bringing it round to what we discussed in the opening segment.
Yeah, excellent. Shane, thank you so much. That was excellent. We'll do this again next week. I think that'll be good. I'll see if I can get someone on from the club. That'll be fun. If you're a Kidderminster Harriers fan, please join us on Facebook. It's Harriers Hotline. Just come on. You can even win yourself a Harriers Hotline mug if you win the competition, guess the attendance at the end of the season. I've been Wes and you've been Shane, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Thank you. See you, Shane. Thanks,
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Wes.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.